Welcome to the first episode of my new series, Nostalgia Blind. This is pretty much my stab at the whole nostalgia correction thing, where I will gaslight you for 5 to 10 minutes and revisit games that I really don't want to find reasons to dislike. If you're particularly observant, you'll realize this video you've clicked on is covering an old flame, Need for Speed Underground 2. Why didn't I do the first one first, you ask? Well, some things are just better left unanswered. I'll not waste any time introducing the game itself because, well, you can't really be nostalgic about a game you've never heard of. Let's unfairly compare this to, say, Horizon 3's map. Ridiculous, right? Yes, but hear me out. Underground 2's map is indeed small, but Horizon 3's is large and largely boring. Arguably, stuff you can actually do in the world can matter more. Horizon and games like it would win on the front that there is lots of little things scattered around the map to keep us entertained. But the map as a whole is uninspired and really just flat, for lack of a better word. Need for Speed has large, twisty roads, such as those at the top of the map, and narrow, tucked-away shortcuts and getaways throughout. It changes quite a bit. During races, the game just throws this stuff at you. Not a fan of how they locked parts of the map away, though. Instead of Horizon's numerous challenges, bucket lists and such, this game has hidden money and hidden races. Not quite as fun, but they've tried. Anyway, the reason I used Horizon as an example is because it's the opposite of Need for Speed's. It's big and kind of featureless, while Underground 2's is compact but fresh. Some aspects of game design are timeless, and while Horizon's vistas and pretty trees are going to beat the drab city settings of the game, who cares? It's almost 15 years old, which leads me nicely to graphics. Graphics are not all that important to me. I judge games on the content of their character. But while this gameplay is scaled up to 1080p for your viewing pleasure, I have in fact replayed the game in all of its 6th gen glory, and I can confirm that it still looks pretty nice. I mean, it's a fun little arcade racer. Will graphics ever matter? The controls are nice. Everything does what you expect it to do. Sometimes things excessively oversteer, but a bit of tuning can fix that. Perhaps I wasn't expecting that from a Need for Speed game, especially since I've more recently played the newer titles in simcades such as Forza. In fact, my current RX-7 is one of the best handling cars in the game, and it really does feel satisfying to zip through shallow corners that others have to brake for. It's nothing too in-depth, but arcade racers aren't exactly known for their advanced controls, and that's fine. The car list itself is mostly strong, but looking back, I honestly wonder why some options were even considered. Seeing that amazing cars such as the Integra Type R and the NSX were dropped in favour of the Nissan Sentra kind of annoyed me. My nan drives a Fiat 500, and even this car is too lame for her. The game also has a hard limit to the amount of cars allowed in game, so you can't even mod more stuff in. You can only swap things out and replace cars. Almost all the classics are here though, from the legendary tofu delivery vehicle to Godzilla himself. All with rice and tuning options, so I can't really complain. The sound mostly gets the job done. Nothing really surprises me or catches me off guard. Like, all the cars sound like cars, except for mine. Mine's been having some issues. Jokes aside though, it's nice. I love the turbo sounds, and obviously those nitro sounds, but the ambience stands out for me the most. Now, I'm not going to play you a video of me sitting still under an overpass because I feel like that's a little weird. I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but just know I still like the ambience in this game. It feels like a city, which is good because we live in a city. The music, well, I'm not sure how I feel about it.
Creepers in for ya, Stevie got the diamonds
It's pretty good, I guess, but it hasn't really aged well. I don't want to get copyright smacked, but it was never really going to live up to the originals anyway. The music isn't bad, it's just they've made a few questionable choices that just make me wonder what they were thinking. The AI though, oh boy. I'm going to start by saying that this game doesn't really pull any punches when it comes to rubber banding, especially on hard mode. I'm not going to act like this still doesn't happen in some games to this very day, but this is a thing I've noticed about a few games around this time. In some races, particularly URL mode, it appears the computer decides it personally wants one of the 4 to 6 losers to win because, well, someone has to. The game does its little dice roll and it decides, I want Chong to win. This one particular AI will often lead the pack by a long ass way, sometimes being the player's sole competition while the others lag behind. And this guy isn't just competent, he's unreal. The laws of physics do not apply to him. In most cases, I'll still win, but it'll still feel like false difficulty. Am I really supposed to believe a Rice Vauxhall Corsa is going to make my GTR struggle on straights? Sometimes though, it really does take the piss. Like, I've been in races where I've been physically unable to even get close to the guy at the front, whereas the ones behind us may as well go home and make YouTube videos like the losers they are because they have no chance. It's frustrating, but I hate to say this, I still prefer it over an easy experience most of the time. There are other times where you hit the last lap or around the last quarter of a sprint and the legendary Chong comes out of literally nowhere at about 500 miles per hour. At this point, it's over. It's over for you. I've seen Chong crash into things so fast they literally fly and he still recovers fast enough to beat me over the line or at least get close. You can see it on the minimap, it's fishy. Chong wins. Even if he doesn't win, he leaves you frustrated, and I imagine that's what he wants. And for those who are already in the comments section, correcting my misuse of the term AI, allow me to correct myself, because the actual AI is actually a really strange mix of ass and good, and sometimes I don't really know which one it currently is. For example, coming from Motorsport 7, I'm amazed that the AI tends to dynamically adjust its line based on where you are, instead of operating on a careless rail. I'm really surprised I have to say that in 2018. God, I've had some annoying moments where the AI just seems to deliberately try to kill you. This is frustrating for me because I'm sure I've got at least 10 years left in me. What makes this tricky to judge, and I apologize for that, is the following. 1. I'm not sure if they're supposed to be aggressive like this or if it's the ignorance of the player's location, because some in-game dialogue and text seems to hint that they're aggressive on purpose. And 2, I'm playing the game with an enthusiast PC in 2018, meaning it's running way above what I feel it should be, which leaves me wondering if these aren't actual AI failings but an understandable issue caused by stuff being tied to the frame rate. I mean, take Skyrim for example. If the frame rate is too high in Skyrim, things just start flying. What leads me to think this might be a similar thing is that on many occasions NPCs have just flew out of the map before my eyes. I don't know if this is more of an AI or a physics issue, or how much I can compare the two, but take what I say with a pinch of salt. What else can I say really? Well, the open world wasn't nearly as much fun as I remember it, but I mean, when I was a kid I used to think wraparounds were cool. The game is pretty solid, but playing it for extended periods gets a little tedious at times because you're spinning through the same unchanging fixed city back and forth to complete events that feel kind of repetitive. By stage 4, I was gasping for a fast travel feature. If you're gonna just throw blips on the map at us, at least make it quicker or more interesting to get there. The first game had the upper hand here where you could just jump into it, so I guess it was better for longer playthroughs, though it wasn't necessarily more fun or interesting. This game was a lot more refreshing when I had much more limited game time as a kid, and I'd actually savour every moment spent in Bayview. But since then, open worlds have changed a lot, so it's not necessarily a failing of the game. In conclusion, this game's been hard to view with a critical eye, but all things considered, I'd give it a 7 to 7.5 out of 10. Slight adjustment to the 10 out of 10 a once happy child gave it. What's implemented is done so in a simple, solid way, with nothing really striking me as a gimmick, game-breaking, ridiculous or underdeveloped. There were opportunities missed, but when the game missed something, it was very minor.
Epilogue.
I don't think of this as the best Need for Speed, nor do I think it's the best tuner game, but that's just my opinion. Anyway, thank you for watching. This is the start of a new series. I'm starting to do some different stuff, move the focus away from Half-Life and random videos that aren't exactly part of a series. Thanks for watching. I know this was something a bit different, but I'm hoping to keep doing different things in the future. This is just one of the few series I have planned. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to leave a like and maybe subscribe, and leave a comment about Billy Mays. If you want to support me, you can check out my Patreon, my SoundCloud, but make sure to join the Discord server to grow the community for giveaways, competitions, memes, more memes, and I don't know man, just join it. I'll see you on the other side, bruh.